Hello dear students, I welcome you all for today's class. Today we are going to learn about modal auxiliaries. For that we have to keep some points in our mind while we are going to learn about the modal auxiliaries. First of all, they use as a helping verb. They always help the main verb in the sentence, and some of the modal auxiliaries sometimes in some cases they use as a main verb, which we are going to learn further. Then the second one is always use verb first form after modal auxiliaries. So what is modal auxiliary? Modal means a verb and auxiliary means a helping verb. So these are modal auxiliaries, these helping verbs, when we use, so after that we have to use verb first form. And the next one is there is no plural of the modal verbs, that you cannot make can into cans. Can, could, may, might, these all are the modal verbs, and we cannot add s or es into. Okay. So let's find out what is the definition of modal auxiliaries. Modals are those helping verbs which express the mode or manner of the action indicated by the main verbs. So that the helping verbs always depends on the main verbs, no doubt. So these modal auxiliaries always help to the main verbs in the sentence. They express modes such as the ability, possibility, probability, permission, obligation, etc. So in this lesson we are going to deal with these points, how these modal auxiliaries works as a possibility, probability, permission and obligation. For that I have selected some modal auxiliaries for you, and here I have make a table for you so that it will become very easy to get into that. So first one is can. How that can and could, these are the modal auxiliaries which usually use most of the times when we request someone and when we ask permission. So these are the some possible possibility right here over there, which called as a function. The first one is ability, first one is I can complete this work. I can complete this work. When we talk about the ability, means how one can person has the ability. So these sentence we can make. Now the next one is request. How we can make a request while using the can. So can I use your pen? So in this way you can construct the sentence while using can. Then the for permission we can use the sentence like you can use my pen, where when the ability is come when you use this can be done in a few hours. So these are the some sentences which we use while we are going to use the modal auxiliary can. Whereas in could, so these possible function can be used when we are going to deal with these modal auxiliary. But the main difference in can and could is could is considered as a past tense of can. So when we gonna talk about the past tense and where we going to show some ability, possibility, advice, so we can use could as well. And one more thing is that we can we can use could in a present tense as well, while we are going to ask some permission, and in that way we can ask the permission in a very polite manner. The next modal auxiliary is may and might, where may and might they both are used when we are going to talk in a very polite way. Might is considered as a second, not the second form. May is used as a possibility. When we use might, then the possibility shows the less possibility. For example, when I would say that I may come tomorrow to your home, then there is some possibility then I would come to your home tomorrow. But when I would say that I might come to your home tomorrow, so when we use that might word, then the possibility ultimately decreased, and it shows that task we are not sure that it's gonna happen or not. So there is a lot uncertainty when we are going to use might. So may, in the case of may, there are some functions where we use may as a permission. The first sentence is, may I come in, sir. These are the sentence, these kind of sentence we use for asking permission. And possibility, it may rain today, barish hogi. So where it shows the possibility. For prayer, may God bless you. And when we use as a wish, then we said, may you live long. So these kind of sentence, when we use these modal auxiliaries, we can construct the sentence like this. And in the might, similarly, there are some functions like speculation, suggestion, permission, reapproach, and order. So we can use the might as well. And in the next modal, auxiliary and should, they both are using differently. The shall is used for showing the action in future, and should, that is shows that shows advice and request, permission, duty. So these kind of sentence we can make like this. When we use shall, so we can use I shall visit you tomorrow. So will and shall, they both are used, but now these days shall is used very rarely. Shall is used only for asking permission. So you don't need to remember each and every use of the shall, because now these days in a modern English we only use will, but shall use in only some few cases where we ask permission. So we will use that shall. Shall we move now, or shall I go, like this. So we can make the sentences. So these are the n number of functions are given, and you can see on the slides, and you can note it down as well. Should, that is in the translation in Urdu we can called is, that is चाहिए, ऐसा आपको करना चाहिए. So this kind of sentence we can make through the should. We should listen to others. He should be in the house now. So these kind of sentences where it shows some request permission, like should I wake you up at dawn. So क्या मैं आपको सुबह क्या मुझे आपको सुबह उठाना चाहिए. So इस तरह से उसका सेंटेंस का it converts into our mother tongue. So here we can use these sentences via using these should. So now let's move further to the next modal auxiliary, that is will and would, where will, that would use in the future tense, where we use will for asking the permission, that is showing the habits, requests, order, promise, warning, determination, and possibility. In will we can use in number of ways. We can use will as well. Now would is considered as the second form or the past participle of the will, and there are n number of usage of would. We can use in a present tense as well, but when I say, I would suggest, means that very near future we can use would as well. So in the first function is future, when we use will as a they will leave tomorrow. This is a very universal use of will, and sometimes it used as a showing habits. That the second one is, she will sit up the whole night, and sometimes it used as a request, will you please show me the way. So there are the n number of usage, and you can note it down through the screen. And there is a would again, which shows the desire, determination, invitation, habit, request, and wish. Okay, so the next modal auxiliary is must and ought to, where these that must and should, they both are you using for the compulsion. But when we are going to use must, then there is a compulsion, there is a forcefully we are going to advise someone, or inquire something, or promise something. So when we use must, then then our sentence have some some positive intent, and that sentence will be forcefully we can say as well, like this, you must leave now. So this sentence shows the order, and the that there is certainty is there. So there are the in number of usage of must, like certainty, inquire, promise, determination, definite, and obligation, prohibition. So in these way we can use must as well. Now out to this is the modal auxiliary, which is rarely used in the language, because it only shows the duty and possibility when we use you out to help the poor. So in the out to only positive sentence we can make, and only we can advise the thing which one can do for the betterment and upliftment only, right? So we only use out to for that two cases, duty and possibility. The next one is he out to have reached the airport by now. So it shows the possibility of the reaching someone's to the airport by now. So these all are the modal auxiliaries which we use as per the situation and condition. There are n number of possibility, n number of functions which I have noted down for you, and you can copy it as well or take a screenshot as well. So now on this note here I would like to end up my lesson. Hope this lesson will be helpful for you. Thank you so much for joining me.